What is up, you beautiful happy hustlers out there? Kerry Jack here, and I hope you are crushing the day. I want to share with you the 3 things that wealthy people do. And I'm telling you, if you're not doing these 3 things, chances are you're not going to become wealthy. That's just the truth. So buckle up. We're going to get into these 3 things that almost every wealthy person I know, and probably every wealthy person you know, does these 3 things. So make sure that you are getting your pen and paper out and you actually start to do these 3 things. And I'm going to get into a little bit of the tactics behind each, not just talk theory in this, message, but actually help you by implementing these things so that you can become wealthy and abundant and happy hustle a life that you freaking love. One that is just full of abundance and money, because in order to happy hustle in any capacity, you got to have that abundance financially. And this is something that I know is a hot topic and I know can really help you. So let's dive in. Now, first and foremost, I want to give credit where credit is due. There's someone that I follow. His name's the Wall Street Trapper. Really interesting guy. He, came from poverty, basically built himself up to what he is today after going to prison and shared these 3 truths that someone inside prison shared with him. And the person who shared it with him was in prison for embezzling over $5 million or something. And now he was in the same cell with him and shared these 3 truths that wealthy people do. And then the Wall Street Trapper was explaining it to Tom Bilyeu on impact theory. And I was listening and I took notes. So I want to infuse my own remedy and my own knowledge into these 3 different truths. But the first truth, the first thing that all wealthy people do just about is they stop trading their time for money. You got to stop trading your time for money if you want to become wealthy. That's just the facts. You have to buy back your time. You have to realize that your time is your most precious commodity. And I know early on in my entrepreneurial journey, I was trading time for money. I was, doing whatever I had to do to eat. And that's just, how you start. Everyone starts there. So if you're still there, don't worry. That's okay. Give yourself grace. But eventually you're going to have to transition away from trading your time for money into, leveraging yourself where that you can leverage your expertise and your brilliance. And I'm going to get into a little bit more, how you can do that, because there's a point in any coach or consultant or, any speaker, or anybody really, if you are trading your time for money, you could get paid a great amount of money for your time, but ultimately you are going to run out of time. And I saw this firsthand in this biohacking business I was running for about 3 years. We were coaching, the top 1% of business leaders and Fortune 500 CEOs and Olympic gold medal athletes and just badasses. And we were getting paid really good money. We were selling $50K, $25K a year packages to these people to connect with them once a month, and we had them in a mastermind group, and then we had the live events, and we were crushing it. But the problem is we ran out of time to sell. We couldn't take on any more clients. Even at a great rate, we just had no more time. We were burnt out or close to it because we had such a big client load. And that's what happens if you're trading your time for money. You'll run out of time. So you have to create leverage. Okay. And I want to share with you how you can actually create leverage now. My good buddy, Ryan Nidell, he just spoke to the Happy Hustle Club, our private community, which if you're interested in joining the Happy Hustle Club, it's a very exclusive group of high-level entrepreneurs. You can actually apply at kerryjack.com/club. Shameless plug. But anyway, Ryan Nidell was a guest guru who came in. He talked about how to create leverage. First and foremost, you have to determine what is your brilliance. What are you really good at? Okay. What do you actually enjoy doing? Right. Then you have to automate everything you can. Right. So everything you can, if you've done the task more than once and you do it consistently, each week, well, you should be able to put a system around it or automate it in some capacity. And then delegate what you cannot automate. All right. So if you cannot automate it, delegate it to someone on your team or someone who can help you get it done. And then eliminate everything else. So that's really how you can stop trading your time for money. You leverage your brilliance first and foremost, then you automate everything you can, then you delegate what you can't automate, and then you eliminate everything else. And it sounds, easy. It's not. I get it. I'm not saying it is, but this is the path to stop trading your time for money. Okay. Look at how you can create scale. Rory Vadim, a good buddy of mine in brand builders groups, they talk about dares. Dares are digital, automated, recurring, evergreen, and scalable products and services that the goal you should be after is to get as many of those dares, those different pieces to that acronym, into your product or service as possible. If it's digital, great. That means you don't have overhead, right? If it's automated, right, that means it goes automatically. If it's reoccurring, that means you're getting paid every month. If it's evergreen, well, that means it lives forever, right? And if it's scalable, that means you don't have to constantly reproduce more of it. It's just you do the work once. Think of Netflix, for example. Netflix is a very close example to the perfect business model for a dare to capture all of these different ways to not, create something that you have to constantly be upgrading. Now, they do have to put content out regularly. So there is a flaw to that model, but you could also use the term or a membership community, for example. That's one thing that I've been building with the Happy Hustle Club. It's digital, automated, recurring, evergreen, it's scalable, right? These are the core components of what I'm building. And this is something, if you want to stop trading your time for money, if you want to stop doing one-off coaching calls and stuff like that, this is how you do it. So that's the first thing that wealthy people do, is they stop trading their time for money. Okay. The second thing that wealthy people do is they make their money work for them, right? So you have to make your money work for you. You cannot just let it sit in a bank account. I recently just opened up a new bank account for a large sum of money that I am transferring over, and I asked them what my interest rate that I'm getting, and they told me 0.05%, 0.05%. And that was the best one I could find. Most of them were 0.01%. That's nothing. You're getting paid 10, 20, $100 a year on your money if you leave it in a bank account. And you know what they're doing? The bank is then loaning out your money, and they're making 10 to 15 to 20% on your money because they are playing the game. You got to play the game. You got to make your money work for you. And a couple investments that I really like to focus on. One, my business. Investing in my business, I get the best returns. Hands down, 50 to 100% returns. Secondly, the stock market traditionally is, over time, a lucrative investment. If you play the long game, if you dollar cost average, right? This is something, I have a portfolio of stocks. I also have my Roth IRA. I have a bunch of, index funds like VTI and VOO and a couple of those other ones. These are stocks that I invest in, and I just let my money sit there because I know it's going to go up over time, right? If I play the long game. Obviously, right now there's an economic downturn, so you're not going to get the same return that you normally would. But nonetheless, over time, if you look at history, it will go up, and you'll get typically around 10% return on your money, right? Then the third thing I like to invest in is actually, skills, right? Skills, people teaching me things, mentorship, coaching, consulting. This is different from my business, because my business, I look at direct ways I can correlate growth, maybe with the ad spend, which I don't do, but with, different investments of bringing on, freelance partners, etc. When I talk about investing in skills are the fastest way to cash for you right now. If you want to become more wealthy, you just have to get better at one skill that you can monetize. That is an exponential skill. I just was talking to my good buddy Ian Stanley, and he has a company called Almost Passive Income. One of the best skills that you could create for yourself, or that you could learn and then create more revenue from is copywriting. Copywriting, email marketing. You write one email, you send it to 1,000 people. That is leveraging your time most effective, right? That's the type of skills that you want to invest in, how you can do that more effectively. But you want to make your money work for you. And when you can invest your money into skills, that's how you can grow more of your money, right? And I also will mention, I have a whole life insurance policy in which I get, I think, about 5% returns. And I can leverage that as almost like my family bank. So I can loan against my money in there. And it also has a large death benefit, et cetera, if anything were to happen. So that's another tip I would recommend. Garrett Gunderson talks about this a lot, a good buddy of mine. He has Killing Sacred Cows, really good book, and another one on the way. But anyway, this is something that all wealthy people do. Is they make their money work for them. Also, real estate, getting involved in more real estate deals. That's what I know I'm doing. Really focusing on how you can make your money work for you. That's it, right? It's not rocket science. You got to just do these things if you want to be wealthy. Okay, so the first thing that wealthy people do is they stop trading their time for money. Second thing is they make their money work for them. And then the third thing that wealthy people do is they give as much value to the people as they can. Give as much value as you can consistently without looking for a return on that value given. This is something you have to be giving to others. You have to be a selfless servant and really have that pure heart and that integrity when you are giving your time, your money, your expertise. Like, wealthy people want to make themselves more valuable to others. This is 100% a truth in my life. I know when I can make myself more valuable to my network, to my inner circle, when I can make connections to others, when I can offer them support or consulting help or, access to my community or to my platform or whatever it is, right? That's something that will come full circle over time. Maybe not right away, but over time it truly will come full circle. Karma is a real thing, giving back to others, adding value as much as possible. This is what wealthy people do. They give to others, right? And it's strategic giving. It's not to everyone, because you would then run out of energy for yourself and for your loved ones and for your own business. But it's strategic in who are you giving that value to, right? People who you can help, but also that are doing right in the world. That's really important. Adding value to others. So those are the three things that wealthy people do. It's power-packed. I know some of these different things, they're not as earth-shattering as maybe you presumed, but they are effective. The first thing that wealthy people do, I'm going to recap them now. They stop trading their time for money. Okay, so stop trading your time for money. That's the first thing if you want to become wealthy. Number 2, they make their money work for them, right? You got to make your money work for you. You got to invest it wisely, right? And number 3, you give as much value to people as you can. Those are the 3 things that wealthy people do. This is something that I know can make a positive impact on your life, creating more leverage. Leverage that brilliance inside you. I know you got it. I know you got that brilliance. I know you're a happy hustler looking to make a positive impact on this planet. And this is something you got to own, that uniqueness, that genius, and you got to leverage it. And then you got to automate everything else you can. Then you delegate what you can't automate, and then you eliminate everything else. All right. Now get out there, make some money, get wealthy, and then spread that with the world, helping others. That's what it's all about. You know what Tony Robbins says. The secret to living is giving, y'all, and I've found that true in my life. I'm so much more happy and fulfilled when I give back to others. But in order to give to others, you got to give to yourself, and you got to make that money so then you can give from your overflow. So that's why becoming wealthy is important, right? So I hope this resonated with you. Get out there, happy hustle, a life that you love. And I will just mention it. If you want some more of these awesome principles and talking through the 10 alignments, you can pick up a copy of my book, The Happy Hustle 10 Alignments to Avoid Burnout and Achieve Blissful Balance. You can go to thehappyhustlebook.com to get that today. And we are going to start charging for it, but right now it is free. All you got to do is help out with shipping and handling. We also have the audiobook on there, so you can go to thehappyhustlebook.com. Now, I really appreciate you. Just from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for listening, for watching. And this has been, one of those things for me. If you start to really do these 3 things that the wealthy people do, you will make more money and you'll be more happy and fulfilled in the process. All right, y'all. I am out. Peace and love.